Hi, I'm Cindy Barrett. Not only am I the secretary for Henderson County Democrats, I'm also helping Eston in his campaign. I met Eston a few years ago. He's my pastor, but don't let that stop you. He's not your normal pastor. We love him to death, and I think his whole concept is about how we can bring people together. And Eston is going to be great at that. So here's Eston Williams.
I wanted Dan to go first because Dan's the reason I'm up here. I've been active more or less with the Democrats in Kaufman County for many, many years. And when Dan told us that he was going to run for office, he started telling us every Monday, every month, we have to have a Democrat in every office. In every office, because you know that for the past 10 or 20 years, there ain't been none, right? We've kind of abdicated, and our good Democratic buddies turned Republicans so they could get elected, right? So I finally said, okay, well, what can I run for? Well, Lance Gooden was a moderate Republican for this area, did, I thought, a pretty good job for one of them, and I thought, well, I'll throw my name in that race, but, you know, no hope. Well, guess what? Lance Gooden is now running for Henslerling's seat. See, Dan ran Henslerling off, right? That must be how it works. Anyway, so since I've done that, it's kind of changed the whole picture. I've learned a lot about this in a few weeks. Clyde Alexander was our representative here for 14 years ago, and I talked to Clyde, and he gave me the name of 2 political consultants who get paid to run campaigns. So I called them and said, I need help. Well, the first guy said, Reverend Williams, don't do this. You don't want to get involved in politics. It's ugly, it's messy, it's awful. Your wife will leave you. Your children will hate you. You'll lose all your money, you'll lose your house, and what's worse, you'll lose your religion if you get involved in this mess. Very cynical thing. And of course, since I've announced, a lot of my friends have told me the same thing. Right? Because nobody in their right mind would get involved in politics, right? Isn't that sad?
Yes.
So who does that leave to run for office?
Rich guys. People not in their right mind.
Right. So that was kind of discouraging. And then the second consultant wasn't so cynical about it, but he did say, Reverend Williams, you understand you'll have to raise $300,000 to $500,000 to win this race. And he said, do you have any experience fundraising? I said, well, every Sunday my folks give it. He said, don't think so. But isn't that also sad? That you have to have money or be willing to... Yeah. So I don't want to play the game that way. Here's my idea for raising money. I have 1,000 friends on Facebook. Okay? If each one of those friends gave me $10 and they posted that they were doing that because they felt sorry for a poor preacher who needs money to run, we could raise a lot of money that way. So that's one of the reasons we're live streaming right now. On Facebook live stream, I want folks to say, well, I don't know if I'm going to vote for him, but a regular guy ought to have a chance to run at least. So that's how we're going to raise money. Now, the second thing is, I hate the way we spend money to get elected. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah.
What do we do with that money? How do we spend it? Street signs, right? How many just can't wait to see all those signs on the highway and in the subdivisions? You know, between now and November, especially with us Democrats getting more active, there are going to be thousands of those signs littering the roads, right? How else do we spend that money? Don't you just wait to open the mailbox and say, oh boy, I got another political letter today. I can't wait to read it tonight. Right? You're like me, they go straight in the trash, right? Total waste of money. Recycle, excuse me. Yes, that's good. That's right. And then the third way we spend the money is advertising, telling people how great we are and how the other guy or girl is the devil incarnate, right? Emphasizing how afraid you should be if they get control. I don't think that's a very good for our democracy. Do you?
No.
It doesn't work. So here's my idea for getting the word out, because I have to do something to let people know who I am and what I stand for, right? We've got to do that. Well, I want to do that through social media, which is basically free. So I started thinking, well, what could I do with that money that would actually help somebody instead of being thrown away? So I started thinking about my priorities, and one of those is public education. Our schools need to be better than they are, and we need, as a community, to support our schools. So I started thinking, what could I do? Well, here's what I decided. There are 121 first grade teachers in our district, in those 2 counties. And our campaign is going to give every one of those teachers $100. Most of you know that teachers spend a lot of their own money on their kids. It may be a kid who needs a new pair of shoes. It may be a kid, for some way, they do that. So we're going to give every first grade teacher $100 for them to use however they see fit. And then if they might want to get a picture taken with the guy who gave them that money, and if they might want to post that on their Facebook page, and if they wouldn't mind if I did that.
Yeah.
There's a person in this room who heard me say this morning, and he said the word brilliant. I've never been called brilliant in my whole life. And I would call him brilliant because he's a smart guy. Anyway, so who knows? I don't know if this is going to work. But we gave our first 2 checks away in Terrell this morning, and now I get to give 2 more. These 2 lovely ladies. Come up here, ladies. This is Carla and Shelby, Carla Harper and Shelby Blaine. Now, I'm giving all the rest of the first grade teachers $100, but these 2 ladies are getting $200 because they drove a distance to get here, and today's their day off. So don't you think they needed a little more? Thank you.
Thank you.
And they both said I could take their picture.
Yes.
So I don't know how this is going to come out, but it's not going to be, as Cindy said, it's not going to be the same old way of doing politics. And I appreciate your support and hope you'll be my Facebook friend and share that stuff and send me $10. Thank you.